Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Wednesday, January 8th. Coming up on Cullman Today, the St. Bernard Bridge Replacement Project gets needed funding, Wallace State Police adds flock cameras, and new faces at the Cullman County District Attorney's Office. All this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's dive into the top stories happening in Cullman today. Congressman Robert Adderholt announced that the U.S. Department of Transportation has awarded a nearly $20.4 million grant to the city of Cullman for the St. Bernard Bridge Replacement Project. The grant will facilitate the replacement and relocation of the existing two-lane St. Bernard Bridge on U.S. Highway 278 East that crosses 8 Mile Creek. Adderholt has secured an additional $11 million in the 2025 Transportation, Housing and Urban Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Bill to further support replacement costs and ensure the project's timely completion. The project will widen U.S. Highway 278 from 4th Avenue to just beyond St. Bernard Drive, aligning the adjoining roadway and approaches with the new bridge. This enhancement will alleviate congestion and improve overall roadway connectivity for Cullman residents and businesses. Congressman Adderholt is confident the project will not only improve traffic flow along U.S. Highway 278, but will also support economic growth and ensure Cullman's infrastructure can meet future demands. The Wallace State Police Department made a significant enhancement to public safety on campus by adding multiple flock cameras. Research has shown that these cameras can decrease crime by as much as 70%. Nationally, law enforcement agencies using flock cameras report they help solve approximately 700,000 crimes each year, and that's about 10% of all crimes reported in the U.S. annually. The use of these cameras can also be beneficial to the broader community by assisting in locating stolen vehicles, responding to Amber Alerts, and aiding in missing person cases. Cullman's District Attorney's Office added 2 new employees this week. David Nacetta, who served this community through the Cullman Police Department for 25 years and as chief from 2022 to 2024, was sworn in as a district attorney's investigator. And Courtney Myricks, formerly at the Cullman County Board of Education, where she most recently served as a truancy clerk, will be one of the office's Helping Families Initiative leaders. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up next, number 2, Auburn beats Missouri. Sports is up next. In today's sports segment, let's take a look at how Auburn basketball performed in its first conference game of 2025. The Tigers were back home at a sold-out Neville Arena to open up their SEC slate against Missouri on Saturday, and Auburn is off to a 1-0 start in conference play. Janai Broome scored 24 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and blocked 4 shots to lead the Tigers to an 84-68 win. The win marked Auburn head coach Bruce Pearl's 213th victory in his 11 seasons on the Plains, tying him with Joel Eves, who won 213 games in 14 seasons, leading the Tigers. Broome got off to a fast start, scoring 7 of Auburn's first 9 points before the first media timeout. When Missouri adjusted by double-teaming Broome, Janai adjusted by firing a cross-court pass to Chad Baker-Mazzara, who converted a 4-point play to give Auburn a 17-11 lead. Chaney Johnson scored 13 points and grabbed 7 rebounds. Chad Baker-Mazzara scored 13 and went 5 for 5 from the free throw line to extend his streak to 44. Denver Jones and Tahad Pettiford added 10 points apiece, with Jones adding a career-high 7 assists. Missouri tied a zone defense for 2 possessions, but Auburn made the visiting Tigers pay with 3-pointers from Ja'Kai Howard and Miles Kelly. 7 Tigers made 3-pointers in the first half to help Auburn take a 45-33 lead in the locker room at the break. Auburn shot 47.6% from 3-point range, making 10 of 21 attempts. Leading by 12 points at the half, Auburn opened the second half with a 12-1 run that put the Tigers ahead 57-34. Pettiford's second chance 3-pointer gave Auburn a 26-point lead before Missouri got as close as 14 down the stretch before walk-on Presley Patterson scored the game's final points. That wraps up sports for today. After the break, we'll bring you 4 stories in under 4 minutes, including the EMA's Everbridge app, the Hanceville Library's new look, local warming stations, and preventing frostbite and hypothermia. We'll return right after this message. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. This week seems like the perfect time to download the Cullman EMA's Everbridge app. Designed to provide notifications by text, call, or email, Everbridge will send those who opt in alerts for severe weather, evacuation notices, community events, transportation alerts, flooding, public safety notices, and general emergency alerts regarding the safety, property, or welfare of our community. To sign up, scan the QR code on the screen. The Everbridge app is free. The Hanceville Public Library has a new look. A new book drop was installed at the Hanceville location with a reminder to patrons that only books checked out at the Hanceville branch can be returned to the Hanceville branch. Hanceville Library hours are Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a lunch break from noon to 1, and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And as a reminder, VOAD and the Cullman County EMA are encouraging those who need a warm place to sleep to visit these shelter locations: Hanceville at Trinity Pentecostal Church of Hanceville, Fairview at Etha Baptist Church, Dodge City at Dodge City Town Hall Basement, and in Cullman, the Donald E. Green Active Adult Center, Unsheltered International, and the Link of Cullman County's Gathering Place. Participants are encouraged to bring their own personal bedding. The Cullman County Commission on Aging also has 7 full-time senior centers throughout Cullman County, providing lunch and a warm place to socialize Monday through Friday from 8 to 1. These centers are located in Colony, Crane Hill, Cullman, Fairview, Hanceville, Holly Pond, and West Point. If you're interested in volunteering to assist at the warming shelters, contact the United Way of Cullman County. For more information about warming shelter locations and hours of operation, visit the Cullman County VOAD Facebook page. The weather conditions we're seeing this week in Cullman are a bit out of the ordinary for our neck of the woods, but these dangerously low temperatures we're seeing this week can cause frostbite and hypothermia if precautions aren't taken. The best thing you can do to avoid frostbite and hypothermia is to stay inside where it's warm and dry. But when you do go out to brave the cold, be sure to cover your face, fingers, and toes. These are the areas most susceptible to frostbite. Wear a scarf and hat or a knit mask to cover your chin, nose, cheeks, and ears. Don't forget the boots and gloves to cover those fingers and toes, and add a few layers of clothes. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message.
Step into Cullman, where local heroes and community spirit shine. Introducing Community Matters Magazine from the Cullman Tribune, your guide to inspiring tales and community spirit. Celebrate our local champions and dive into the festivities at Christ Kindle Market. Feel the season's cheer and discover stories that inspire. Community Matters Magazine. Connect with your community. Find your free issue at these locations or download a copy online.
Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Funeral services for Jeffrey Lynn Adams, age 52 of Cullman, will be Thursday, January 9th at the Funeral Home Chapel. Visitation will be today from 5 to 7 p.m. at the chapel. He will lie in state on Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Interment will be at Flint Creek Cemetery. Shelba Jean Schultz, age 84 of Cullman, passed away on Sunday, January 5th. A graveside service will be held at South Cemetery in Bluntsville today at 2 p.m. Dorothy Clemens, age 86 of Bremen, passed away on Saturday, January 4th. Graveside service and burial for Dorothy Clemens will be today at 1 p.m. at Antioch Baptist Cemetery, Bugtussle in Bremen. John Anthony Duke passed away at the age of 62 in Hanceville on January 6th. Funeral services for Mr. Duke will be at 2 p.m. Thursday, January 9th at the Hanceville Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will follow the service at New Lebanon Cemetery in Bluntsville. The family will welcome friends for visitation on Thursday from noon to 2 p.m. at Hanceville Funeral Home. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now, let's take a moment to look ahead at today's weather forecast. Today will be mostly sunny with a high near 38 with wind chill values between 16 and 26, a northwest wind around 5 miles per hour. Tonight will remain mostly clear with a low around 17. Northwest wind around 5 miles per hour becoming calm. Thursday, sunny with a high near 40, and Thursday night we begin to see a 30% chance of snow after midnight and a low around 25. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. And remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. But until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today, wishing you a wonderful Wednesday.